This is it right here, folks. 117 proof. These were discontinued 2 years ago. This is the wheated. I haven't tried their wheated. All right, 4 bottles deep already, man. I said that we were going to be responsible. That's a nice barrel of whiskey. We picked some excellent barrels. They are so freaking delicious. I am back in Nashville, Tennessee. We were headed up the coast. Quick detour up to Kentucky. Figured I would stop off in Nashville on my way. Got JRock here again to help us. This time though, he's on 2 legs, no wheels this time, so we should be able to get around the liquor stores. Now, he had us meet in the exact same place we started last time, but I promise you we're not gonna hit all the same stores. I just happen to be staying downtown. That's where Jill wants to stay. This one's fairly convenient. So we're gonna start here, then we're gonna branch out. At least that's what you promised me. We're going to some different places.
Going different places today, for sure.
I'm not a huge fan of bourbon hunting on Sunday. If I'm trying to work my way in the back, like it's always the manager's not here, we can't negotiate, we can't, we don't know about the allocated stuff. I get a lot of that, so I would rather go during a weekday if possible.
Nashville on Sunday is usually a recovery day from the weekend. Okay. Big party town, Friday night's big, Saturday nights are big, everybody's hit downtown really hard, so everybody's just kind of recovering.
So not a big bourbon hunting day?
Not a big bourbon hunting day. It'll be pretty quiet probably. Shelves might be a little empty, but we still might find some good bottles here and there.
Let's see what we find. We're starting at Colonial Liquors. Oh, single barrel cash strength Green River. It's a good find. I've just bought 2 of them. Yep. What is this?
Cardinal Spirits.
Single barrel rye.
They're sourcing MGP, but they do good stuff.
Yeah, kind of like Dark Arts here.
Yep.
Sourcing MGP, but doing good stuff. We're on a lot of bourbon hunts, and I know I say this a lot, but we have done like stupidly with the budget the last 2 hunts. Like we paid no attention to budgeting in the last 2 hunts. I'm gonna be picky today, is all I'm saying. I'm gonna be picky. If we find something, I'll buy it. I'm gonna try to be picky today. Stable Reserve.
Franklin stuff. Haven't tried it yet, but I've heard it's pretty good.
It looks kind of young. Distilled in Indiana.
Okay, there you go.
Nelson Brothers. I saw a cognac cask the other day, but they wanted too much for it.
They're all about $100.
I think there was like 120 for the cognac cask finish, but this was a small city liquor store in Alabama where everything's more expensive. So just the fact that they had it was a miracle, and then, going to be a little markup on it. It's a decent looking bottle. It's a rye. Typically with ryes, I'll let somebody else tell me whether or not I should try it. Like I'm starting to grow a palate for ryes, but somebody's got to let me know it's good, or I get a sample of it before I go jumping on more bottles of rye. The Benchmark Single Barrel Index here, we've developed this on the trip. We went into a store where single barrel was just like stupidly priced over on Hilton Head. So I just got to check that is my leading indicator of how the prices are at a place,
Here's some Backbone, decade down uncut.
Dude, they sent some bottles. I haven't had that one. They sent some bottles to the house. I'm sure we're going to do something with them because I really like the stuff I got from them.
We tried them in Spillway.
Yeah, you were there when we tried those Backbones. Yeah. Honestly, though, I brought the small samples to Spillway. The best stuff they gave us were the full-size bottles, and I didn't bring those. So you didn't try the best. And it's MGP, but it's like they're doing good stuff with it.
2 last bottles of the Hemingway first edition.
I don't know anything about it.
All right, so this is done.
It's a rye again.
It is a rye.
You're my rye guy.
I am your rye. This is a killer bottle. All right,
Okay.
so this Papa's Pilar rum, the Call family.
Okay.
They have taken their sherry finished rum, and then they dump that, and they put a blend of 9-year MGP and 4-year Green River that Jacob called distilled, and that's what they came up with this one.
So it's 95.5 MGP?
Yeah.
Blended with Green River rye?
Green River rye.
How available is this bottle here?
There were, you might find this is the last 2 that are on the shelf here.
I'm just thinking, I don't know if I want to buy it at the first store.
960 bottles of this, total.
All right, I'll tell you, sold me. Fine, I'll take it. Ooh, cash strength Emerald Giant right there.
Cash strength rye.
Not buying another rye. I got my one rye, my rye allocation right here. I've got the Pipe Dream. I don't think I have the cash strength Lost Monarch. I gotta have that, sorry. What is this we're trying?
Treaty Oak.
Treaty Oak.
Red-handed.
But this is a 13-year, 100% Dickel juice.
Oh, great. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. It's still a no for me, dog. This is not horrible. None of the George Dickel stuff is horrible, and there are things about it I like. It's just the minerality just takes away from it for me.
It's not the worst thing I've had.
Well, of course, it's not the worst thing I've had. I've had some terrible things, man.
I'd have another pour if somebody poured it.
Okay, if you're just pouring me George Dickel, I'll drink it. I'm not going to complain about it, but I'm also not going to buy it. Appreciate it. Thank you. What's the next door?
Next door. Let's go down south, hit Cool Springs.
Cool Springs, catch up with y'all there. Little pit stop, little change of plans. We have Daily Spirits here on the way down to Cool Springs. So we're gonna stop here first. What's this?
So I was telling you about this Papa's Pilar, rye
Yeah.
finished. This is their store pick. He's got one open. Gonna let us try one.
Okay, so it is a rye finished.
Rum.
I think it's really good.
That is just burnt sugar with a little rye spice on it.
So this rum is the byproduct of aging in those rye barrels from the Hemingway rye.
All right, that's great. You sold me on that. I need to expand my rum collection or selection just a little bit wider. Probably one of my favorite Ambaranas, but I use favorite loosely. Like one of the least detestable Ambarana finishes. That one was borderline. I might actually go back to it on my own without somebody asking me about it.
Really? Okay.
Borderline. I don't know what that is. Hop flavored whiskey? Come on, man.
When we were at Cathead,
All right.
we kind of snuck off of Gabe, and we were having some pours elsewhere, and he broke out a bottle. It was a pick of a Charbet Quad. It's 142 proof, but it was pretty nice.
That's hop flavored whiskey, man.
Yeah, I know. I understand. But it was pretty nice. I'm not trying to sell you on this one because you're going to open this and be like, oh, why did I listen to you?
Yeah, probably.
So we're going to put this back down.
We're not gonna get that crazy. There's the cognac cask right there I passed on in a previous hunt. Let's check the price on this at least. $89.
That's not terrible.
So we just saved ourselves $30 if we buy it. I'm sorry. Trying to be responsible.
Southern Star, High
Southern
Rye.
Star Rye or High Rye. This is High Rye bourbon. I gotta have one of those for some selfish reasons here. For those that may not know, may not be aware, we're trying to start our own brand. We had a particular small craft distiller. We would rather source from small craft distillers than large producers. The ones that are super successful don't have enough inventory at all because they're expanding and they're growing, and the ones that aren't super successful at selling either don't understand the sales process. If their whiskey's good and it's not selling, they've got some lessons to learn and some growth to do, and sometimes they're super attached to their barrels of whiskey, which understandable. I would be too if I put that much blood, sweat, and tears into it. So we're looking for somebody to source from or to contract distill, or both, right? Like we want to contract distill until we can get a still up and our own production going, but we also need some aged whiskey to start blending and putting out. And so we're looking at several different distilleries that do some contract distillation, and Southern Distilling happens to be one of them. Never had their high rye, like their Paragon, never had their high rye bourbon, and I'm starting to really get into high rye bourbons. All right, 4 bottles deep already, man. I said that we were going to be responsible. I mean, at least these are cheap bottles.
Inexpensive.
They're not cheap. They're inexpensive. Dog's like, what are you drinking that for? Awesome. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you. So for you geography buffs, this is not a geography channel. I know we've gone outside of Nashville. You don't have to point it. Just go ahead and point it out. Let me know. This is not Nashville. Say it right now in the comments. This is not Nashville. Where's this?
Franklin, Cool Springs.
Franklin, Cool Springs. They're liquidating the heck out of those. $32. I think I have, I don't have these picks, but I think I have an example of each of those. Copper and cask straight rye. Single barrel selection. Indiana, 95.5 at $37. Fine. Okay, yes, probably a great buy. At 70, that's not gonna beat the Bullet 12.
No, it's not.
I just bought that high rye, and now here it is cheaper. And then there's a double rye. That one's on sale. Let's go, we gotta do that. $32, I'll give it a try. Ooh, got red line stuff on sale too? What is this? Straight rye, and it's a toasted barrel red line. Like the red line finish stuff is normally great. I don't know about toasted barrel. Rebel small batch reserve. I have seen one, didn't really know what they were. Is it still wheated?
Yeah, it's still Rebel. It's still a weeded. $34 for 110 proof.
Oh, Dom right there. Is that a cash strength? No, it's a bottle in bond. Dude, I've still been enjoying that high rye. I did buy a bonded of their bourbon too. Yeah, but that high rye is so good. I'm on the second bottle, and if we finish a bottle at the house, it's something, because we don't go back to the same bottle that often to finish anything.
The Reverend?
Right here, sour mash whiskey.
That's a newer one. It's out of North Carolina. It's essentially a Tennessee whiskey distilled in North Carolina. Sour mash, it goes through the Lincoln County process. It is charcoal filtered.
Way too much text. Like they got a novel, then they just put their logo on it. Preacher, farmer, grocer, distiller. Produced and bottled though, who distills it? So we bought one from a small, I can't even remember, I'll have to look at it in the car. We bought one from a small distiller while we were over in North Carolina. They were trying to explain to me it was Sazerac juice, but it said distilled by this. She explained it like it's a live concert venue, and every time a big band comes to play, they do a release with that band's name on it. And it's Sazerac juice, and I was confused, but apparently it's a distillery that maybe has a venue or something. I don't know how it's attached to the music, but it's a small distiller apparently owned by Sazerac, but they make a high rye bourbon, and it's pretty freaking good. Like, surprisingly, like I passed on it at 2 stores before I finally bought it at the 3rd when they explained it to where it made sense. I think it was Live was the name of it, and I forget the name of the distiller. Those are out all the time, usually at the house if I go to the right store, just because people don't pick them up. Like, they just sit around. Those are good stuff right there. Both of those turkey bottles really good. So this Kentucky Spirit right here, for those that don't know, single barrel wild turkey, 101 proof. So it's basically Turkey 101 single barrel. A little Peerless. Dude, I got ripped off in the Louisville video. I didn't even see the video till it went live, but we saw a Peerless. I was trying to get a double oak for Will. Right. And then we were at a grocery store and it was like, I think it was 90 something bucks. And then I went to the distillery and it was 130. And they were like, oh, we'll just buy it at the distillery. It's gotta be cheaper than no. Nope. And I knew better. I bought stuff from Peerless before. I fell for that thought process knowing that wasn't the case. I should have remembered, because that's the second time it's happened to me there. So for those that don't know, these were discontinued 3 years ago now? 2 years ago? Had to be 2 years ago. 2 years. It was discontinued 2 years ago. And then somebody said it was never really discontinued. They were just releasing it in Kentucky only, or Tennessee only, excuse me. Maybe it's still Tennessee only and there's still some out there, but and that was a fantastic bottle of whiskey for the price. Like, what was it, 30 bucks or something like that? Back in, 2 years ago, 30, 40 bucks. So good. Then they shot up to like $80, $90 when they went out. So they may not be back. The rumor that they're Tennessee only may be true. That may be what it is. The Johnny Walker. We should buy that. We should call it Irish whiskey and we should drink it in a video.
I hear a lot of people say this Balvenie Caribbean cask is a good one.
Oh, it is good. I've got one of those. It's probably my favorite Scotch. Okay. But it doesn't mean I still love it. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like I still, that was actually the first Scotch I ever owned. What? A friend of mine gave it to me.
I need a bottle of Hedonism.
I got you. This is for you. I'm gonna buy it for you. This is your gift for giving me tour. All right. I mean, seeing how we've been buying other people bottles. I mean, you and I get together enough to where that would get expensive. If I bought him bottles every time we got together, we would have to shut the channel down. Thank you. All right, another 8-mile trek here to Vintage
Wine and Spirits. The Boss Hog's sitting down there.
And that big old tall Blue Note special cask finish series.
Mm-hmm. All the casks on that one.
I'm sure it's good. Just like I know that Boss Hog's good. Not my budget good. Is that another 117 proof? Like, this is it right here, folks. 117 proof, Old Dominick cask strength. I have a backup bottle. I have one open. I just bought their bonded. What's this? Old Hickory. Everything's MGP.
Everything is. It's okay. It's not bad. I mean, they got good barrels.
Get some Taconic down here, man. It's a New York distillery right there. It sent some stuff. I like some of their stuff. I've got to get a little more into it. Maybe try some of their single barrels. This is their maple bourbon, which not my thing. This is more their straight bourbon whiskey here. Definitely craft. Takes a little longer to age in New York, but cool to see them getting distribution down this far. There's some more Taconic. This is the Mizunara. And this is the wheated. I haven't tried their wheated. We were supposed to be doing a trip to New York, and we were having conversations with them about going up there and doing something. That trip never materialized, or at least hasn't yet. We might do something when we head up the East Coast, but we haven't got that high yet. I'm gonna grab this wheated though. What do you know about Reservoir?
I don't know much about it.
It's got some age to it. Like, look at the color on that. That is dark. Handmade single-run small batch whiskey made with only the finest quality grains and yeast. Innovatively aged in time-honored traditions of quarter cask for a minimum of 2 years. So
small barrels?
Small barrels for 2 years. The thing is sometimes the small barrel adds those raisin flavors. It works for me better in ryes than it does bourbons, but I'm just gonna have to try a sample of that before I buy it. Thank you. So we'll grab that Taconic wheated. I think now we're gonna head over to Southern Collective and kind of end our time here in Nashville on that. Never been there before, don't know what it's all about. I think they thief from barrels and do all sorts of stuff. So expecting a good time with that. I'm gonna grab a little bit of bite to eat. We'll catch up with you over there. But Sunday bourbon hunting, Usually not great. I mean, obviously, if you're just looking for something that's sitting on a shelf, if you're looking for local stuff, that's fine. That's really, you know, for the most part, what I'm trying to get. But it's not good if you're trying to get in the back rooms, you're trying to get allocated stuff. The trucks don't run on the weekends typically, and the managers are never around if they got something in the back. So if you're trying to build a relationship, if you're trying to get in a back room, not a good day to do that. All right, I was looking for some healthy options, but he wanted to keep a tradition alive because every time I come through and we get together, we have Hattie B's. All right, so I got grilled tenders. Honestly, when I said they were hot, I didn't know. I thought I want to try a fried one. I didn't know the grilled ones would be hot too. So I tried to order well and just order plain grilled tenders. Didn't realize anyway, I got greens. These fries are for him, so it came with two sides. I didn't know, I panicked, okay? I panicked, I'm not eating the fries. But let's do a little review here of some Nashville hot chicken. Hattie B's grilled hot chicken. I mean, that's good. I think the fried's gonna be where it's at though. Like, I mean, honestly, that's why you're supposed to get it. We're gonna try this with a little ranch on it here. That's definitely where it's at. And I know this is not the core offering. You should get a half a bird. I've had it before, really good. Didn't review it. Trying to be better here, okay? Did pretty good. I'm gonna eat these grilled tenders real quick. We'll see y'all at Southern Collective. A little update on our way out of here. Order the fried. The grilled, a lot hotter. There's a lot more seasoning on the freaking grilled chicken fingers. It is burning me alive. I can handle the hot fried. I can't take it grilled. Ooh. Man, I'm gonna drink like a gallon of Coke Zero before I get out of here. But just want to make sure I gave that word of advice. All right, let's check out Southern Collective. Hey, TJ.
Tyler.
Chris, nice to meet you.
Bolden.
TJ.
Nice to meet you.
Yes, sir.
We find good whiskey to get to good people. Circulate probably 30 to 40 barrels on site. And then up in Kentucky, we age and keep about another 70 to 80.
So for most folks, what does that mean? They come in and buy a single barrel, like you're thieving bottles for them? Like what does the process look like?
Yep, so we will have a mix of finishes, single barrels, and then if somebody wants to come in and do a blending session, we will pull similar mash bills, let the interesting characteristics of all single barrels be highlighted in their own personal blend.
I always say, like, when we do the tours, it's build a bourbon. You pick whichever barrel you want. You pick whatever color waxes you want on your bottle, what you want to name it. I mean, it's essentially your one of one bottle. A lot of people don't get to experience what it is to go on a barrel pick, so that's kind of how we set up the tour. We want you to go through, try different barrels, see what hits your profile, and then if you decide to get one of those bottles, you can make it your own masterpiece. And this is our entire production facility. So we've got a few barrels on tap we'll let people pull from. The barrel room is right behind you, so that's actually where we'll go. And we've got the little tank. We'll dump the barrel in there. We'll feed it through the hopper. Everything's done by hand. All the labeling's done by hand, all the wax. Miss Trisha's not here right now. She actually writes on them. She's got beautiful handwriting, and she signs the bottom of every bottle.
Now this is the manual filling station here?
Yep.
How are you dumping it into this drum or?
Yep, so we dump it in that drum. It feeds it through there, and then it's all gravity fed, and you just put a bottle in there and
Just
go.
milk it.
Yeah.
So you got some OZ Tyler.
We do have some OZ Tyler. So we have a lot of OZ Tyler weeded.
How old?
They're all right at 5.
You want to pull a sample of one?
Absolutely.
So this is OZ Tyler weeded, about 5 years old.
So we're 3 days from it.
Got a little weeded funk to it. It's very similar to those OZ Tylers we're pulling out of Short Barrel. That's a nice barrel of whiskey. I like OZ Tyler stuff, Green River stuff, right?
So people getting char in their glasses is always very interesting to see the reaction, because like there's not really like anyone who's indifferent.
I like mine without seeds. Is this another weeded? It is definitely softer. I don't get any of the weeded funk on that one. There it comes. It comes a little bit on the finish. The problem is I'm comparing this in my head to the Green River barrel picks, but those are straight bourbon. Those are not wheat. So the wheat's gonna be softer.
Try this one and I'll tell you what it is after
Okay.
try.
I'm not a huge fan of that one.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
It's
not a
very
huge fan
weird.
of
So it's 8 years old. It's out of Missouri, and it's 100% wheat whiskey. Not wrong.
Ooh, that's got some rye on it there. What is that?
So this one, it's another Missouri barrel. It's
Okay.
8 years old. It's 100% rye.
I mean, if we could find 2 barrels of something They can't both be ryes though. I might be willing to take it. A little more rye, but all the flavors are stronger, brighter. Yeah, a little dustier, a little drier. I would take the first barrel, hands down.
We've got the rum finish too. We just got labels for it. Do you like rum finish things?
Sometimes, if they're good. If they're not good, no. So this is by far the most interesting thing we've tried today that's just different than anything else we've ever done. It is port finished, and I don't know if that's for everybody. I know Midwinter Night's Dram is very sought after. It is a rye, but honestly, I could barely tell it's a rye at this point. There's some rye spice. If you would have told me it was a high rye bourbon port finished, I would have believed it. We're gonna get this to the Brewzle Club. It's gonna take a while. They'll be out there sooner or later, but this is by far the most interesting thing we've had here today, and I think y'all are gonna like it. So, what do you think we should buy, JRock?
I think 167 over there, that 95.5 rye.
You think that one-
that's a winner.
100% right.
You think we
100%
should,
rye.
100% rye. You
Yeah.
think we should 750?
750 that one.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we get a good yield on that.
All right, we had a great day today. Had a fantastic time in Nashville. Again, Sundays, not always the best time to bourbon hunt. If you want to try to get allocated stuff, try to get into the back rooms. But if you're like me and you're just looking for good local stuff, then hunt any day you can. Had a great time here at Southern Collective. Appreciate the folks showing us around. We picked some excellent barrels. I don't know when they'll be available. I don't know when they'll be in the Brewzle Club. They are so freaking delicious. Appreciate y'all watching all the way to the end. Hit me with #BottleKill in the comments down below. We'll catch y'all in the next one.